Hey guys, what's up? Long time no see. Back in the shop. It's been a while since we've done an update on any sort of racing or anything like that. We've really been hectic around here in the shop. I just want to come up and give you an update, kind of exactly show you where we're at, try to catch up on things. So, first things first, we did go to Oklahoma recently to go to the memorial race for our good friend, Randy Lathrop. People may not know. I know I've talked a little bit about it, but Randy was a racer who came from California. Him and his wife, became part of the Wild Bills family. Got associated with us really good. Did a lot of racing in Oklahoma. I guess you could say that was one of his favorite tracks. So naturally, when he passed, I did a memorial race for him in Oklahoma. This was shortly after our race at Houston Mike's Golf Coast. So we took the new Midwest mod, the late model, and the midget, which is up there. I raced the Midwest mod, and the midget. Victor, my son, raced the late model. It was a really long weekend, tough weekend, 3 cars. It's really hard to video whenever you're trying to get 3 cars going. Not only that, I'm really testing, these car and the midget, really throwing all the effort that I can. No, at the same time, trying to get Victor comfortable in the late model. I think for me, the cars, we've had some struggles with the midget, had a couple of accidents, and just really first, putting it in different track conditions just to see what the car does. The good thing is, though, everything that we built in to the cars to do what we wanted it to do worked really good. Midwest mod, everything we set it up for, and then even the midget, we ended up putting a lay down transmission, incorporating everything that we wanted to because the track got some good bite out of it. And I did take some videos, but at the same time, I had the little camera and it ran out of storage. And really, my biggest thing that I was excited about the accomplishment was Victor, how he did in the late model. Now, he didn't make it to the A. He ended up in the B, just one shy of going to the A main. But the biggest thing was that it was his very first open class. We had him in the 8.5 motor in it, and then we ended up turning it down. Sorry about that radio here from work. So we ended up turning them down, got him associated, got him situated with the car, being the first time at Taylor Park with a late model and a different type of car other than a Traxxas-based car. And it was really good. I was very happy with it. At the end of the night, we had him almost all the way turned up. We kind of, towards the last heat race, we had him all the way up pretty much, and he was doing very well. Keeping up pace, not necessarily in the way, actually putting up a fight. He was in the race. It was very happy. Very proud of him, all the effort that he's put in, taking instructions well. I'm trying to do the best to give him the instructions that he needs, not trying to be overbearing, but also sometimes letting him figure things out on his own. So that was the Oklahoma race. The whole family went. It was awesome. Not so much the wind on the way back, going through those big hills, pulling a trailer. It's not ideal, but at the same time, it was well worth it. Shout out to everybody over in Taylor Park who put out the race, track maintenance. It was really good. A little windy, but it was really good. Really happy. And I apologize I didn't really get to put out any video. I really tried to, but I really want Victor to get associated with this racing and get comfortable and like it. Nobody likes, a lot of people get discouraged whenever you put effort and you put a lot of money into something and then you don't get the results that you want. It may not be the results that Victor wanted, but he does not understand that he has very little time in it and is doing well. His patience is up there. Driver etiquette, courtesy, being humble goes a long way. On top of that, here in the shop, we've been very busy. I'm still trying to wrap up the build for my buddy on the midget that I have similar to this. Now, one of the biggest things that we are doing. So sorry about that. I did turn the fan off. I had it in here. We're in the workshop. Got some things going on, which we'll get to here in a minute. So we are trying to finish up his midget. Now, one of the biggest things I'm trying to do incorporate to keep costs down and to make it easier for parts is 3D printing. So some of the things that I am incorporating into his car is 3D printed parts, which is not very hard to do now that I've kind of picked up pretty good on it. I'm still working on trying to get familiarized with the program. I am using Fusion 360. I was using a free like AutoCAD type deal online, but you're limited to what you want to do. And for what I wanted to do with the details, we had to move to a different deal. So that being said, before I really wanted to push this stuff out in a car, it is still carbon fiber based chassis like traditional cars, but a lot of the little small pieces like the battery holder and stuff, I think I'm going to print them out in plastic. Not only that, is that a little bit more cost efficient, a little bit easier to do. So while one machine is running, the other 3D printers are running. Just trying to make it cost efficient. Roy and a couple of the guys, I try to help them out. They try to help me out with, trying to drive for me or drive cars to test them out. And then this is part of it. This is what I want to do, a little bit R&D on that stuff. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people who are doing that stuff and have built some 3D printed cars, have incorporated kind of the setup like I have on my car. So I'm not the first one doing it, but it was an idea that I had. I wasn't very sure who was doing what. That's not really what I do. I just have these tools available to me now, and I want to use them, trying to keep them cost efficient. As we know, things in the world now are just so expensive. So that being said, I was able to create a buddy of mine, Jeremy, they reached out to me about building a street stock. Now, the traditional way you build a street stock is underneath the chassis. You have a piece of Kydex and you bend it, and then you put a front plate, and then you add a gusset on the front of the bumper. Well, to me, technology has come around, 3D printing has come around. I myself is learning how to do it. So then we decided to come up with this kit using a particular car, which is the Hot Buddies buggy 2-wheel drive. And they asked me if I could help out with creating a kit for that car after, I'm not sure what the situation with this other person was, but they needed some help. And I said, yeah, I'll tackle it on. So what I want to do is try to incorporate something 3D print, which then resolved into this thing. So this is the front bulkhead for that car. Instead of using a traditional Kydex, I'm 3D printing everything with different type of materials. And then he's going to do some testing for me, which I think it's Sunday. So I went 3D print a couple extra parts, 3D print a couple extra parts in different material. And then we'll go from there and we'll see if it works. The goal is, I think it is going to work. And if it does, we'll be able to incorporate these kits a whole lot cheaper to help, entry level people trying to get in, or whoever wants to race, and be a whole lot more cost efficient. Instead of it being a $200 kit, we can probably do it down to a $50 kit. So that being said, that's what we're also working on. So now we're incorporating 3D printing on my midget and the a street stock, which is a completely different kit. I'll put the picture in here of the car, the photo of the finished product. And then at the same time, we also have my son's birthday party, who's coming up in a couple of months. He'll be turning 15. Mentioned it before, Hispanic community throws big parties usually for the girls when they turn 15. Well, now my son's 15 in this day and age. Guys have big parties just as much as the girls do. So we're utilizing all the tools that we have here in the shop to help build props, decorations, and whatnot. So that's something that we're working on. At the same time, we're using it as a tool, as all the tools to try to help push our other businesses to try to make some, financial gains out of it. So here in the shop, we're able to build just about almost anything associated with wood, acrylic. So that's the side of Drastic Branding. We also take photography and that stuff. So we've been taking some pictures. It's senior season. People are graduating, stuff like that. We've been able to use our letters, which we have here. I'll show you quick. These big Marquise letters right here, these are black. And I'll put another picture in here. The actual school reached out to us to put some Marquise letters out for the choir group. So we're able to get those built and utilized. So I'll put a picture into that. So we've been doing that. That's another side of the business, which I said. And then also the actual same group reached out to us to make some plaques. Now every year they get seniors get a plaque, and then this is what they've asked us to do. Let me get a better shot of this here. You see we have a table here. My wife Crystal was putting these together while I was designing. So as you can see, we have a wood set up in the back, 2025, with some wood, laser cut, and then we 3D printed the letters to save us the hassle of having to paint these letters. We utilize the 3D printers to make all of this stuff, and it looks, end goal will be like this. And as you can see, we got some of the cutouts here. We got some more of the names here that we did. We got some more parts there. Yeah, we've been very, very busy here in the shop. Obviously, the dream, right? Any RC's dream, any RC enthusiast, hobbyist, whatever you want to call us, dream is to make money off of RC cars. But realistically, you can't compete with like Custom Works and everybody, GFRP, all of them who are big machinists. But we're doing what we can, trying to help out our friends, trying to make something economical, have fun. So basically, that's kind of where we've been. I really apologize not being able to update. This is not your typical video that you would like to see. Me rambling again, like always. But, this is ultimately why we bought the machines, the stuff that we have. We can create just about anything. We do have a couple more tools coming in, UV printer, so like that we can make the plaques, kind of like what you see here. That's another tool. Basically just building up our shop to be able to do what it is that we want to do. So biggest goal right now that I have on the RC side is to do some R&D on the stuff like the cars that I have built. I do have some fun bashing stuff that I want to do. Financially, I'm putting it together a piece at a time. So something to have fun with my friends, but we'll talk about that later. And then on the other side of the RC stuff at Thompson's, I reached out to him, see if he can help me, maybe put some of the SJD stuff in his store. So if y'all don't know, like on this wing here, the mounts, I've created some of my own. I'll be able to create panels for the midgets. This kit's anything that has to do with 3D printing, at least accessories, tool holders, trays. Just start slow. It's kind of where we're at the same time. Have some fun racing. Racing season's coming back up. Obviously, it's kind of wet everywhere, but we go where we can and video when we can. So, got a couple of cars lined up for other customers who want me to do some builds for them, which is great. I'm more than happy to, but everybody is on the same page knowing that I just can't whip them out as fast as other people. But the end goal is to tackle them all out as soon as possible. So I just want to give you an update on where we're at. I know it's not necessarily a racing video. I think we might hit a little track this weekend, depending on the weather. But like I said, it's busy, busy, busy. Family comes first, and then family, and then, work, and then all these hobbies and, have fun. So a little bit of work-life balance situation here at the house, but we're trying to knock it out. It's great to see y'all. Keep commenting on the comments on the videos. As I see them, I will try to answer. We got some races coming up. It's just right now we're tied up with this. So we're almost to 1,000 subscribers. That is the ultimate goal for the end of the year, which then would help us out tremendously with the channel. So if y'all don't mind, click that like and share button, subscribe, share it with everybody else. And if you have any answers or questions, I'll try to provide the answers the best way that I know how. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you here shortly. Peace.